you, but as the school year gets closer and closer to the end, I'm getting more and more exhausted. Hi, Tori. Are you as tired as me? I'm so tired. Anyways, I'm excited for the weekend, and I'm excited to do some storytelling with all of you today. This week we're heading off into Japan, and I don't know about all of you, but I love some of the folklore and fairy tales that they have over in that particular region of the world. They're just so fascinating, so full of life and character. So we're going to have a little fun time tonight exploring a couple of those fairy tales, mixing and mashing them together, and perhaps you all will guess a little bit about them. But before we head into that, a little update. The Etsy store had an update of its own, so some of our fun things that we've been talking about the past week or so are in the store, including a couple of potion bottles. Tori, you might get excited about that. Some new bookmarks, of course. I'm excited about that. Those are my favorite things. And a new dice box or two, as well as a journal. So if any of you all are excited about those things, you're more than welcome to go check them out. And of course, the older items that are still left in the store from before are on sale, as well as that discount code is still up and at it, at least until Monday, the last time I checked, if I remember correctly. Whenever the 8th is, I think that's a Monday. Tori's better at dates than me, she'll tell me in the chat. But yes, so for anyone who would like a reminder, that discount code is fairy tale. So let's see if the chat will let me type today. It is letting me type. Yay. The other day it was not letting me type. I still don't know why, but it seems to be working now, so we're just gonna roll with it. So yes, so use fairy tale for 15% off your purchase in the Etsy shop, and I will pin that for anyone who joins later. Will you let me pin? That's the real trigger, because last time it really didn't want me to. Well, we'll keep trying as we're talking. But yes. Oh, there it went. Ah! I can do smart things, at least sometimes. Okay, unpin at the end of the stream. Thank you. So now it will stay there the whole time. Okay, excelente. Good. So now any friends who are joining us later will be able to see that, because I know sometimes when you join later in the stream, you can't see previous messages that happened earlier on the chat. So I don't want anyone to miss that. Now you'll see it. It'll be there the whole time. Perfect. Okay. So yes, we are heading off into a new storyland this week, into Japan, my favorite area. Okay. So, but in our fantasy world, we are still, I'm afraid, in the Sword Coast and the region of Neverwinter. Last week, we were in Neverwinter Wood chasing a transformed stag. Now, that gets you out of Neverwinter Wood, I'll send you over to the port city of Neverwinter itself. And while there, you're hearing some very strange rumors off in the taverns. They tell a strange tale of two woodsmen who, far away north near the spine of the world, had gone out into the woods to do their usual jobs of cutting down the trees and caring for the forests there. But in the evening, while sheltering out into the wilds, something very, very strange happened to them. They seem to have encountered a nighttime visitor, and something very odd happened to them. At least, that's what the rumors are telling you. And so, the tale to be told begins thus. one of the local taverns in the port city of Neverwinter, you encounter a young man named Mosaku. And while there, he spins you quite the strange yarn, one that you could almost swear was being told by the local fisherman instead of a local woodsman. Now, as strange as this tale may seem, it does appear to be entirely true. And I will leave it to you, dear friends, to see if you believe him. And this is the tale that he tells. He claims, while out in the woods doing his usual duties as a woodsman, he and his companion had to shelter for the night due to a storm. And while there, they heard a strange yowling out into the night. Now, perhaps normally they would have ignored such things. For, after all, this is the spine of the world, and it's not unusual for roving bands of orc clans, or even for a pack of wolves or two to come howling through the nights. But there was something about this particular situation that made them think, perhaps something else is out there in the woods this night. Perhaps there is something else darker and sinister that is going on instead, and we should be much more cautious. And so, Mosaku gets up quietly to try to lock the shelter door, the one that they have been using every time they come into the woods to do their usual duties as woodsmen. And perhaps it's this that saves him, for something bursts through the door, does not realize that he's there, and, according to him, sweeps past him towards his companion, hovering there above his sleeping form, and being all pure, pale of white, and in the form of a young woman, comes above his companion and, according to Mosaku, draws his breath from him. And with that, his companion perishes in his sleep. Now, Mosaku's terrified. According to him, he is never going near the woods again. He hoped to seek help here in Neverwinter, but seeing the forest nearby, he's going to continue on south to Waterdeep. But you all are piqued by what seems to be going on up in this north by the spine of the world. Perhaps you'll go check out what's going on with Mosaku's woman in white. What sort of creature sucks energy or breath from sleeping forms? How very strange indeed. And so, you decide to check things out for yourself. Could the tale Mosaku told be true? Perhaps. You'll find out once you get there. And so you do travel north. Unfortunately, you are hampered by several roving bands of orcs. This is their territory after all, and they're not too keen on several adventurers just roaming through their territory. And so you wet your whistle, as it were, on those roving bands. Perhaps you gain some new armor, or a magic weapon or two. Perhaps you even get a much-needed shield, or some healing, at least some healing according to orc clans. And of course, there are the usual wolves and other nasty things that hang out so far north. But eventually, you do come to the stretch of woodlands that Mosaku warned you about. And you even come across the shelter that he and his companion originally used that fateful night. Thinking that you could entrap whatever it was that attacked him, you decide to shelter there for the evening. Perhaps this is not as wise as most people would think, but You have become quite experienced at dealing with this strange and fantastical, so you decide to take the risk. After all, there are several of you, and only one of it. I think we can handle it. And so, as dusk turns into midnight, you wait to see what appears, if anything. And sure enough, a howling wind moves through the woods. But so far, no woman in white appears, at least, not yet. But just as you start to think that nothing's going to appear this night, that witching hour comes around. And sure enough, the door bangs open, and as it does, something pure as white and pale and freezing cold sweeps into the shelter. And just as it does, you notice that not only has the temperature dropped several degrees, but that pure white something, it really does seem to have a woman's form. And it hovers in your midst. You feel a fear overcome you, but not so much you can't act. Just enough that maybe you don't want to be messing with whatever this is. One among you decides to try to speak to whatever this creature might be, and so you approach. You look up to the form, into its pale spectral face, and you see, despite its pale white form, it is quite young and beautiful woman, and you greet her. If you're in the chat with us tonight, friends, you're welcome to share what you think you would say to such a pale white spectral form. If you think it's a spirit, what might you say to such a spirit? If you think it's something else, what might you say to that something else? Share with us what you might think and dare to say to such a strange woman in white, and what might you want to tell her and attempt to greet her with on this cold, freezing night. And whatever it might be, perhaps she might whisper to you back and say, Musaku might pay for not him. He was not to share what happens on that night. He was warned. And perhaps you must pay too. And perhaps she will attack you if your wise words are not planned so carefully. But you do not know just yet what she is. You only know that she's not too happy with you. And perhaps she'll throw out beams of structural attacks, and perhaps she will try to freeze you with a cold that bites you to the bone, and perhaps, just perhaps, you'll discover that she really can steal the breath from you, but it's not quite the same as you'd expect a wraith to behave, or a ghost to behave. It truly is as if she's sucking all the air from your lungs. Something strange and very new is behaving here in these strange woods up in the spine of the world. And if you do eventually convince her to calm, and you do eventually convince her to stop her attacks, she may just tell you that your name is Yuki. And Yuki is a part of the moon spirit, and she is quite angered. But what has caused her ire and brought her down to earth, and what has caused her to be locked here in an internal struggle of man and spirit, has not yet been revealed. That is a tale still in the telling. It's still not yet revealed. After all, what has caused frogs to start speaking? What transformed that poor child into a pure white stag? And what was going on in that small town down to the south, where suddenly everyone was cursed by a mirror? No one knows what's causing all this mischief, dear friends. All we know is that someone somewhere is doing something and bringing all these fairy tales to life. How strange indeed. And perhaps you're able to help her. Give me some ideas. If it were you and you encountered the moon spirit, how would you help the young Yuki? How would you help bring her back to the spirit worlds? Or would you be able to? You've come quite powerful, my adventurers. You've learned a few tricks and spells along the way, even gained some magic items. How would you find a way to help her out? Is there a way to bring her back to her home? And if not, how would you soothe the moon spirit so that she was no longer attacking when she should not be? Take a moment and consider what you might do next. For it may just be that she heads south and takes her revenge on Musaku. But if not, perhaps she will return to the woods and try to ponder her new world here on Earth. It's hard to say what will happen to Yuki from here. After all, spirits don't return to the spirit world easy. And it may just be we'll have to resolve our full story before we know what happens to her next. Some mysteries have to stay mysteries a little while longer. Okay, well, it's time for some watercolor together. At least until we know what's gonna happen next in our fairy tale misadventures. I'm gonna set up our camera, get some fresh watercolor, water cleaning water, and I shall hopefully see you all back here in 1 minute or less. Thank you for hanging with us. I will see you all quite soon after intermission. And off we go. Hello everyone and welcome back. Let me get some music going here. Maybe you all can help me choose something nice. The other day we did kind of like ocean sounds, I think, didn't we? So maybe... Ooh, this one says caves. I kind of like that. Do you guys like that? I don't know how loud it really is for all of you. Let's stick with caves. I'm liking caves. Okay. So I hope everyone is doing well this week. I tried to fix all of those pop-ups from Stream Elements, but I see I did not quite time those right again. So that's okay, I'll try to fix that again tonight. They were kind of annoying me earlier, and I don't think I quite adjusted. So I'll try again later. Sometimes it is an ongoing process. Okay. Let me know if you need that music louder, okay, on your ends? All right, so this is our, I feel like that's too loud now. That's a little better. Okay, so this is our watercolor so far. I had just kind of a light wash down there, and then some trees coming in. We're gonna probably have to wash it out a few more times, and we're definitely gonna need a lot more trees. I want a full happy forest up here at the Swine of the World, but lots and lots of foggy mist and nice fun kind of snowy kind of effects, because after all, we're very far north up there, so we want to do some fun things. Okay, but from last week, if I remember correctly, I'm going to show, there's so much stuff that's been going on. I don't often remember what's going on even a week ago. We had testing at school. We had so many things, so many things. So if I show you the wrong thing, someone please call me out in the chat, because is it even Friday? I don't know anymore. Okay, so last week, if I remember correctly, we were working on bookmarks. And these are our 3 bookmark panels that we were working on. And I think they came out really, really nice. The other day, last night actually, I went ahead and put Dorland's sealing wax on top of them. So they are nice and hardy and doing just fine. Dorland's is sort of like, I've been calling it like surfboard wax for artists, but I know that's not really true, because surfboard wax doesn't actually do the same thing. But I kind of think of it that way, as being kind of like a surfboard wax. It just kind of goes on top, and it protects your artwork from things like sun damage, everyday dust and grime kind of a thing, so that if you did, for whatever reason, heaven forbid, need to clean it, you could just kind of gently take something, not a wipe, please, for heaven forbid, but something nice and gentle, and just kind of take it down, okay? So as you can kind of see, I think on camera, there's like a nice sheen to it now. That's Dorland's wax. So it's just nice and top on there, kind of protecting the watercolor, because these are bookmarks, and I did paint directly onto the bookmark, and you're gonna put it in your book and be holding it, handing onto it. Your hands go on the thingy. Wow, my brain sometimes substitutes out words, and it's just like, hands, thing, whatchamacallit, you know, that's a sentence, and you're like, no. Close, but no cigar. Because you're going to be handling it, I felt it was important. Hand oils would be, you know, not directly on the watercolor, because that would not come off. But with the Dorlands, this will be like a nice protector on top of that. And then, of course, if you're going to read outside, you don't have to worry about that kind of sun damage. So this sheen like came really nice. Sometimes on bookmarks you get like these weird kind of scratchy marks on it, but I feel like it did really well. I don't feel like I have to sand these at all. I always feel kind of sketchy about sanding down bookmarks, but this one I kind of don't have to. This one I did have to sand a little bit, unfortunately, but that was only because the top wood, it was not as smooth as I first thought. When I went to paint, I was just like, probably didn't sand that ground as well as I should have. Oops. So when I put the Dorlands on top, it was like really obviously not flat surface. I mean, 99% flat, but that 1%, it'll really cut you with the Dorlands. So then I had to go back and just kind of like work it out. But now it's fine. So yes, that was a dice box, by the way. I just wanted to show you how Dorlands can sometimes be a goober. But it's been very cooperative on those. Those looked awesome. Okay. Now that I've had my little rant about Dorlands, you're like, nobody cares. We're going to continue on with this guy. So this one kind of, I did like a test image the other day because I was like a little nervous about fog. This one kind of has a lot of green in it, but it's mostly, shocker, Payne's gray. You're like, Chelsea, could you do one painting without Payne's gray in it? Not yet. Promise we'll get there eventually. Just not today. So I'm going to try to mix... let's see. It might be easier to mix it on here. Maybe not. That's a lie. I'll try to mix it over here, I guess. I'm using a different cup for water than I normally do because I've been working on this kind of minty, glittery, nary a green in sight. But I apparently am thinking a lot about green right now. This kind of glittery Feywild painting, and apparently there's glitter on this brush because now it's all over in that. That's weird. Rabbit hair gets in everything, I swear. This kind of glittery painting, and I liked how it was getting in the water. Normally I get kind of annoyed by that, but sometimes when you do a full wash on top of things, I kind of want that to stay, because then I can use that wash to kind of help me out with other stuff. And that can kind of like help me tone things. Sorry, I'm just picking rabbit hair out of everything. She's molting, and it really does just get in all of this. I can't even explain. I went to work with hair just like, and I swear to the dice gods, these were clean clothes. And I got to work and they were like, "Do you have a cat, Miss Chelsea?" And I was just like, "Nope." And I don't want to talk about it. I just feel like I have a cat sometimes. But yeah. So that's how my week's going. Yes. The rabbit is molting. So I'm starting with the tree line because, oh, that's a lovely green. Yes! Sometimes you mix it just right on the first try and you're just like, see, I am smart. Not that I'm not smart, but like, every now and again, you sometimes wonder when you mix paint and you're just like, what was I thinking? I don't know. I don't know that I was thinking on that one. What the heck happened? But this time, I'm just like, yes. Okay. Some of these I did earlier, but I kind of don't like the color. You probably noticed that I was trying to do it with the liner brush. I almost said liner pen. That's not correct. The liner brush. I was like, oh, trees, liner brush. Let's try it. They're going to be nice and thin. And then I was like, oh, this is a mistake. Take it back. Only you kind of can't at that point. It's like permanent. Some things you can kind of take back with watercolor. Hey, Corey. Wait, aren't you already on here as like your other profile? Now I'm double followed by my friends. Anyways. I'm like totally distracted. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, yes, you are. That's cool. Anyways. I've been meaning to tell you that Edgar Allan Poe is one of my favorite authors, but can never find a good time to bring that up. It's just one of those like random things that your brain. Every time I see it in the chat, I'm just like, Edgar Allan Poe. Sorry. You're welcome for the ADHD. Now I really don't know what I was talking about. Oh, liner brushes. It was a complete mistake, but I can't always take it back. So we're just gonna do our best to adjust. And like kind of try to blend here. And if it kind of doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's cool. Oh, I was gonna ask you, Corey, since you're here. Did you still want to hang out afterwards? I'm like really bad at playing video games, but you can try to teach me. Every couple of months or years, someone tries to teach me to play video games. It usually doesn't work, but it's fun to watch them try. I know how to play Angry Birds. That's a video game, right? I feel like you all are laughing at me. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yes. See, in theater, body double means something different. Assuming it's the video game thing, right? I just want to sit and listen to this music. I should have picked this music before. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'm kind of liking it. Yay. Okay, I'm going to fix this one too. That other one looks kind of fine. I don't know if it's even showing up on screen, but it's probably okay. Do. Yes, this looks much better. Yay. Okay. And I'm gonna take like whatever's left of this and just kind of streakies. It's gonna get blended out later, but I just kind of want to darken in this green a little bit. That was a little too much of a line. And I kind of want to start emphasizing the idea that this water has like streaks and movement, and it's not just hanging out there, you know, doing blurry water things. Because water's not just blur, it has movement to it. So I'm going to start giving this water some movement. But I'm going to need to switch brushes. This brush is not going to cooperate for that. That's how you end up with no brush. Okay. Oh! And then can make people more perfect. I should have that all the time because otherwise I'd get nothing done. That makes sense. I have students that would actually benefit from having that constantly because I kind of get the impression that they never learned parallel play in elementary school. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yes. Special needs friends can be hard sometimes. But they're learning. I hope. I really hope. Yeah. Enough said. Yay, water! Okay. Alright. Good. I'm gonna let that top part dry before I add in any more water stuff. But the bottom, we can start adding in some more blobby things. And I'm gonna use this really big fluffy brush. Love me a fluffy brush. I kind of want to get like one of those really big chonker ones. I would never use it because I tend to do smaller things, but I want one just so I can be like fluffy. Yes, I am one of those. I want one. Just to say that I have it. It would literally cost me like $60 though. Yeah, can't justify that. Brushes, so nice, but so expensive. Okay. And then I'm just gonna drag out some of this. See, now they're all gonna go off again. Don't know how to fix it, but I will eventually. There's gotta be like a better YouTube video for those things. Oh well. We'll work it out. Okie dokie. And then I think I did something like down here. And I kind of did like, I'm trying to remember. No, it was here. Da 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 da. Okay, there we go. I don't want to lose too much of my lines, but I also don't want things too harsh either. So I'm just gonna and while this is here, I'm gonna kind of start to impress this idea of some fog coming up through the trees and kind of messing with things. Okay. There we go. Yay! There's like 10,000 of them now. That's really annoying. Okay. This needs to be blurred out a little bit more along the edges. So I'm just going to tap some water there and see what happens. Same with this one. This should be fainter. Okay. Yes. How dry is some of this stuff? Okay, yeah, I think we'll be alright. Alright, I'm going to start, so I don't lose that. I'm gonna start doing a few more trees here. Yes, what I really need is a good shrubbery brush. So I'm gonna do some shrubbery. Liking me some shrubbery. Okay, and I'm gonna start in light and go darker. We've been dealing with so much fog and whatnot. And then that way if there's some bleed, it's like not the end of the world. Nobody cares. And that will give things some time to dry too. Okay. I feel like we haven't been doing a lot of jar questions lately. I was thinking about that earlier. I've kind of forgotten about my jar. Ooh, that kind of looks nice against the fog. Maybe we'll pause, let things dry, and do some jar. I want a little bit of brown. Things should feel like there's rocks and things in here. Even though it's all foggy and whatnot. All discombobulated. Okay. A little bit darker. I don't know why, but I like giving my brush sound effects. One of those. My brush needs to have its own. Do do do. Oh, no, that's gonna be wrong color. Hold on. That'll be better. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to stick in that color palette. Leave the rich greens alone. Everything needs to be yellowed because of the fog. Okay. How about a question jar? While that dries. Okay. Oh, I didn't have any characters. Darn. How did you name your character? Okay, how about you guys then in the chat? What is a character you've played recently in any game system that you enjoy playing? And tell me, how did you, your turn, name one of your characters? Alchemy, if you broke something, I'm gonna be very sad. I just heard my rabbit knock something over. Hold on, I'm gonna go check on that. And I'll be right here. Alchemy, what did you do? Did you drop things? Did you throw your bowl? Urgh. You're being naughty. Do you guys want to see her? Okay, here I am. Look, it's a bunny. You're all pissed because I picked you up, huh? Yeah. But see, you threw your bowl, and that was not cool beans. We can't throw ceramics. No matter how mad we are that we haven't had dinner yet, and it's early still. All right. So in the chat, rabbit and all, let me know something about how you named one of the characters that you've played in any type of tabletop RPG game. And I have a rabbit, apparently. I'm gonna have to hold her for a little bit. Because someone's being a doofus. You can glare at me all you want, but you don't get to throw things. Nice. I like that. And Corey, that's the game where you all are working through the stars, right? You are all kind of traveling, like it's almost a bit like, I don't want to say Star Trek because I know that's probably not correct, but you guys are kind of, you're on spaceships and stuff like that, right? If I'm remembering correctly. I don't know if I can hold you and paint at the same time. Make sure that line's not too harsh because I want to come back later, do stuff with that. Okay. Cool. Are you Please don't be angry at me. Are you stranded on the planet, or is it more that the story is limited to one planet for a certain amount of play? just realized I can't actually hold paint and her at the same time. So this will be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen now. Gotcha. Please don't kill me. That's really cool. Space travel. When I was younger, I always really liked Star Trek because I liked the idea of just a bunch of scientists running around in space and having shenanigans. I was definitely a nerd. So I liked being out in space and there being shenanigans. I definitely didn't relate to Kirk all that much. But I liked Scotty. I was a Scotty fan. Okay. I think we're ready for some more trees. But I'm gonna have to put someone down and they're gonna have to agree to stop throwing things. Can you agree to that? Do we trust her? I don't know if I trust this one. We're gonna try it. Okay? But I have to come get you again and be very sad. Erg. Okay. Bunny down. Definitely very furry. I'm very covered in it. Okay. We're gonna see how long she's gonna let me do this for. No promises. Okay. We may very well have a shorter stream than normal because someone's gonna be very angry here. She's normally not that persnickety about dinner time. She's more persnickety about breakfast time. I have been frequently woken up at 6 in the morning on a weekend because someone doesn't understand weekends exist. But she's normally not that bad about the rest of it. So someone's having a bad day. Which means the rest of us are about to have a bad day. It's usually how that works. So we'll see how she does from here. I may have to go check in on things. We shall see. Okay. Kind of like how that's blending. That's kind of cool. Yay! I do want to make it obvious that there's fog back there, so I'm going to make some that are a little bit shorter than others. Erg. That one, like, did weird things. Hold on. There we go. Maybe I can fix that. There we go. That's better. Yay. Now it's a happier tree. Okay. I want some trees, like here. When you can't fix your mistake, you hide it behind another tree. It's true though. I often do that. When I have a weird looking tree, I just hide it behind another tree. And then nobody knows. It's like it was never there. Shh. It's a secret. Nobody needs to know my weird tricks. It's fine. I'm sure everyone does stuff like that. It's like not even that unusual. Okay. Let's see. Where else should we stick a random tree? Let's stick a random tree. Yeah, why not? Right here. I think that needs to be way greener though. This will be a slightly different kind of pine because it's more green. Sometimes forests have more than one kind. Forests around here are pretty consistent. They're all the same kind of pine tree, but that's just kind of how California works. We have like two kinds of trees. Let's see. Kind of running out of places to stick them. All right, how about we have one that's just kind of going. Oop, I need it to be darker. Kind of going off to the side here. If you've just joined us, we're painting trees. Do. We're having some fun with trees. There we go. Actually, I feel like this one didn't blend very well, so I'm just gonna throw some water in there and try to see if I can kind of lighten that up a little bit, kind of wash it out. There we go. That's a little bit better. We're gonna get reflections in here eventually anyways, so I'm not too worried about things looking weird. I just kind of need things to be dry and my trees everywhere that I want. So I know exactly where reflections are gonna end up eventually. So right now I'm just kind of like, if there's too much green in the water, whatever. But I do just kind of like need to know where things end up before it's like too strange. Okay, I'm just checking on her, make sure she's not throwing anything else she shouldn't. So far, we're behaving. What do you know? Okay, checking in on that. Okay, good. Alrighty. I'm hoping I'm not at the point where I actually have to pause and let things dry, but things are kind of wet, and I'm noticing here. Where's my tweezers? Oh, I'm gonna have to use a scalpel. That, probably because I brought her up here, but there is a hair. Come here. Normally I don't really care, but sometimes when things dry, when there's a wash, it creates a line, and I don't like lines. I don't want lines in my wash. They're really annoying to fix. And I don't like being annoyed. Okay. Like right there. There's another one. Okay. Especially when it's supposed to be misty. You're like, why is there a line in the middle of the mist? It's not a thing. Okay. And there's another one. Okay. Sometimes it happens though. Things just puddle in weird ways when there's some warping and it happens. I will create some interesting lines with water in here though, because we want some movement in our water. But not in our mist. No. Okay. I am seeing that I don't quite have as many misty trees as I'd like though, so I'm going to water down some gray, and I'm going to go back in and just sort of complete the composition a little bit while I'm waiting for things to decide what they want to do. So like I can kind of shape this up a little bit. That didn't, this brush. Never mind, I'll use this one. That one holds washed water so much better, but fine, be that way. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Can add some tree form back in through the mist. And because it's mist, I can just kind of wipe it while it's damp. There we go. And maybe there's like a little baby tree in the background. Ta-da! Little baby tree. Little baby tree. There he is. Okay. And then maybe there's a little baby tree over here. Just gonna fluff out that forest a little bit. Now we kind of know where our mist is. And because we want things wet, come on water, there we go. We're just gonna kind of, there we go. Nice and blobby water tree. There we go. There we go. Okay. When you don't have a brush that wants to do what you want it to do, sometimes you can trick it. Just means you have to work a little harder. Okay. And maybe there's a tree there. I don't want to work harder. It's fine though. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. I am gonna blend this last little bit in though. I almost didn't wanna. Okay, hold on. Before it settles in too much. There we go. That's better. Okay, I know there's gonna be some lines. I can fix those in a second. Weird little lines. There we go. Much happier tree, much happier tree. Okay, let's get some real small looking things. Missed using a liner brush. Okay. Some small stuff happening in here. Just some small stuff. I really wish there was a way to like very gently do so I was only spraying what I wanted to spray, not a whole area, but it doesn't really let me do that, which is so annoying. Like really tiny one here. There we go. And then I am gonna kind of like I think that's just gonna be the way to do it. Just gently dab. Don't know how else to explain it. Dabbing. Okay. Can also add some more into those clouds. I know they're not showing up very well, but there are actually clouds here. Now that we kind of know where our trees are, I'm going to add some clouds into this mist. Soft gray clouds. Oop, too much water. Still too much water. Aww. I do actually say quite a few things that are Bob Rossy. Someone pointed that out the other day. Like, happy little tree. I say that a lot. Alright, will you stop chewing things? Sorry. That is me and the rabbit. She's in a mood. Or sometimes I'll be like, there's no mistakes in a heart, only happy little accidents. I think he actually says that on some of his videos. But that one I actually picked up from my art teacher way back in the day. And she probably did get it from him, to be honest. But and I do think he does say that on some of his stuff. No mistakes in art, only happy little accidents. But she used to say that to me all the time because, as sometimes happens with neurodivergent friends, we want things as just so our way. We like things our way and we don't like change. And as often happens in art, things don't cooperate the way we want them to. And so she would constantly remind me that, there's no mistakes in art. If you drop water in places you didn't mean water to go, that's okay. There's no mistakes in art, just happy little accidents. Now you have, water bubbles in your painting, and you get the opportunity to turn that into something new. It may not be what you wanted it to be, but it's something new, and you're gonna live with it, basically. Learn to live with it. You can either be upset and start your painting over, which is almost always what I did, not gonna lie. Or, you can turn it into something new and fun and say, no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Like my wonky tree over there. You can just kind of be like, it wasn't what I intended originally, but, now it's something new. Now it gets to be something new. One day there was something weird was happening to this guy. Oh, I know it was when we were doing that desert painting over a month ago. Something weird happened to the sky. It dried in a very bizarre way, and I could never figure out why. And I honestly haven't gone back to use that particular paper again, because I'm just that was bizarre. Don't know why it dried like that, but I was able to get these really cool looking clouds. I haven't really been able to do those clouds exactly that way again, because I can't get things to dry weirdly anymore. It dried weirdly that once, and I can't make it happen on purpose now. It's kind of funny. Anyways. But yeah, no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Little forest. It's a mist. Probably doing too much mist now, actually, but whatever. We'll see. Everything dries so much lighter, it's kind of hard to tell what you really need where. I do think this is creating weird lines, though. I need to kind of blend that out. Stop eating things. Okay. I think I do need to go, work out what's up with her in a second. Okay. In the meantime, since I don't think I'm gonna get quite to where my trees need to be tonight, I want them to be properly dry, and I'm gonna wash out this bottom part one more time because I don't want too many weird lines down here. I do want some lines in my water, but I want to control more where they're gonna be. So I'm just gonna make sure they're a little paler, and then I can go in and kind of have a nice clean wash on everything. Make sure my lines are exactly how I like them. And I think that will be good for now, for my mist and etc. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry overnight, and hopefully I'll be able to finish that up tomorrow. Haven't quite decided if I want to keep to Saturday morning side quest, because I found last week I was just so tired that I wanted to sleep in on a Saturday. So you may see me tomorrow morning, you may see me Sunday morning. We may be doing Sunday morning side quests from now on. We shall see. Or maybe we'll do both this week, and then next week we will pick one. We shall see. We shall see. I might wake up tomorrow morning and be like, meh. You never know. You never know. But hopefully, we will do one. We're definitely going to do one or the other. I'm definitely not going to leave you all hanging. That would not be nice. But I have not quite decided which is my only last announcement of the evening. So, anyways, but for anyone who joined us later, this Etsy store is up and restocked, and that fairy tale code is still working for 15% off your purchase. So go check things out. Stop chewing cords. Okay, I definitely need to go wrangle a hungry, hangry rabbit before she destroys what's left of my cables. So I hope you all have a lovely evening. Drink lots of coffee. I think I need it now. Thank you for hanging with me tonight and doing some watercolor and storytelling. Don't forget to feed your inner mimic or your inner rabbit, apparently. And I hope you all have a lovely week. Bye, everyone.